that ball.
Rambo Radio with your host, Gen T.
Fuck, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, fucking Jen is a warlord.
I'm fucking coming for you.
Now I feel poo coming out of my bum. So it's a lot right now. Yeah, it's a lot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rambo for Radio. I am your host, Gen T, Twitter and Instagram at GenT523, but nobody gives a toss about that. It's all about YouTube, Gen T TV. Folks, I hit 13,000 views, and just in case I mentioned it last week, I'm going to say it again. I hit 13,000 views, y'all. I'm making my way straight to the top. But in order for me to go further, I need you. I need your help. I need you to like, share, and subscribe. I need you to tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. Gen T TV. You don't even have to watch the videos. You just got to subscribe. But occasionally, maybe watch some. Friends, here we are. I'm glad we are here today because a lot of absolute bullshit has happened since I have last talked to y'all. Man, just some preposterously unacceptable behavior. And I normally try to keep the filth at bay, but this one was so big. It's everywhere. I mean, people will not stop asking me about this. I don't know how to escape. So I'm just gonna say my piece and let it be and be done with this. But Brother Charlie Kirk was apparently shot last week, a week ago. And, apparently he was shot because he was expressing his opinion, or he had some beliefs that were not favorable to some or to someone. And so they decided, today's the day, I'm going to shoot this person. Some mentally unstable neo-maxi zoon dweeby. Some fucking 22-year-old Momo who had a transgender girlfriend or something, which kind of looked like him, apparently said that I am going to shoot this person for you. And I think this is completely unacceptable behavior. Okay. I know who Charlie Kirk is. I don't know him personally, but I know who he is. And he had his views, conservative, whatever. Good for you. I don't give a shit. Not my cup of tea. Don't care. But I do care about the free speech part, and I believe in protecting his right to say whatever the hell that means, whether it's he doesn't like black people, gay people, whatever. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you're saying. I don't have to agree with it, but I don't give a shit. Because it's your right, just like it's my right to have this show. There have been many times where I thought, ooh, man, I can't say this or I can't say that. The whole reason why I made this podcast was like, I want to be able to say whatever the hell I want to say, because that's my right as an American citizen to say whatever the hell I'm going to say, even if it is stupid, weird, dumb, retarded with a W-E, neurodivergent, transgender, Ziza, they, them, pots and pans, the whole nine, but that's the whole reason why I love free speech. This is my thing. This is my passione. This is my lane. And so when you're going to attack free speech or try and shut down free speech, I got a problem with that. I really have a problem with that. So this 22-year-old man, which first and foremost, how do you even know your head from your ass at 22? You don't know shit, Jack. You don't know shit. I'm say that with honesty. You don't know shit, bruh. So how do you not distinguish that this person has a different view than yours and you keep it pushing? You don't got to listen to this. All you have to do is turn the off button off. You just You don't got to show up at wherever this guy is at and listen to what he has to say. Okay? Just the fact that this person was like, I have a transgender partner. I will protect you. Like, protect you from what? They're fucking words, man. They're words. And like I said, if you don't like what you're hearing, leave. Turn it off. Go talk to your friends where you like to hear what you hear, or you just only want to hear one train of thought. The rest of us are trying to be out here learning and having discourse, and we want to listen to opposing voices because we want to make sure, hey, is what we believe in what we believe in, or is it horse shit? The rest of us are out here trying to learn. So what I don't like is some Momo gets the idea like, hey, I'm gonna help everybody. I'm gonna shoot this guy. Nobody asked you, man. Nobody fucking asked you. Okay? So now you're inciting some sort of, just complete and utter chaos between, I'm seeing a certain type of trashy African Americans celebrating, I saw one young lady yelling out, "We shot your man. Your man's is dead. He got shot in the head." Like, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Yo, stupid. You're fucking stupid. Like, why are you going to their home court where the memorial is at and thinking this is a good place for you to try and be like, hey, let me crip walk on your homie's grave. Let me crip walk on Charlie Kirk Memorial right now. Like, oh boy. This was a white kid who wore the same shirt as the shooter, dressed up like the shooter, and was like dancing or doing something. Clearly, y'all have been using the internet so long you think it's okay to just flat out disrespect people. This is not a good idea. Like I said, I'm all for your right to free speech, but let's be sensible, let's be smart, and let's have some fucking respect and not pull up at oh boy Charlie's funeral or oh boy Charlie's memorial place or his office or his family house or whatever, and you're crip walking or you're celebrating, you're doing a happy dance or something. It's like, come on, have some fucking decency. It's not like this dude was Adolf Hitler. It'd be different if y'all pulled up Adolf Hitler. Then yeah. Okay, we're all gonna ride to his house and fucking embarrass this fool, man. Right? I'm just saying. Oh boy, Charlie Kirk was a conservative dude who had conservative views, whether you agreed with them or you didn't agree with them. They were just his views. It's just an opinion, just like my opinion on the situation. Everybody's got an opinion. Everyone, what's the thing I keep reminding myself when I hear something that's completely just a preposterous statement. Our opinions, okay, so opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So I just keep reminding myself that because I forgot, because I was thinking of a time somebody made a comment to me about something. Somebody called me a dyke. Okay. So I was just like, I mean, they're not lying, but the way they're saying it like they're trying to be hateful, right? And so rather than me, telling them something back or fighting them, this was some time ago. I didn't have all of the confidence skills that I do have now, but, excuse me. I didn't have all of the jiu-jitsu skills back then when this moment occurred, when this gentleman called me a dyke. And so, because this gentleman was a, big badass dude, all buff and stuff or whatever, calling me a dyke, my only solution was to sleep with his sister. That was my only solution. So this guy, he saw me on the street, and I guess he knew I was hanging out with his sister, but we were just friends. I wasn't even trying to do anything with her. I was just trying to be homies, and we're just kicking it. And, for some reason he had to call me out in front of his friends or whatever and call me a dyke. And I didn't particularly like that. But at the time I was just so devastated. I was like, oh, my heart, I'm crushed, because I knew back in them days, when somebody's calling you a dyke, they trying to hurt you. They're trying to hurt you, whether it's emotionally or physically. And so obviously I left the situation immediately because I knew, okay, this isn't good. I don't want to be around some aggressive ass buff dude yelling out dyke, right? And then when I got home, I cried. And I just thought, oh, this is just so terrible. All I've ever wanted to be was just normal. And then I realized, I went, wait a minute. All right, player. If I am a dyke, then I shall do dyke things. God, it was not one of my finest moments, but finest moments. I just, those the early days. Now I'm just like, you can call me whatever you want, but you stay over there, because if you come near me, I'm going to have a problem. Okay, if you come near me, I'm going to have a problem. But anyhow, it's just words. It's just words. And, with this gentleman calling me a dyke, I could not disagree with him because it was true. I am a lesbian. I am a dyke, whatever, right? But I guess it was the intent behind the words. It was just like, you motherfucker, you're trying to hurt me. And now that I'm older, I realize that this individual wasn't really trying to hurt me per se. They were in a way, but also that they would say such hurtful things because they're hurting. And so, I think sometimes we are humans. We're doing things to spite each other, to be boastful. I'm sure these fellers who are disrespecting Charlie Kirk Memorial right now, they're posting this shit on their TikTok. They're posting it that they're going to jail for clout. They're doing it for clicks. They're doing it for likes. And it's like, ooh, this isn't going to look well. If you're lucky enough to see life 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road, you're going to regret what you've done. You're going to regret that because, you're probably for the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to be remembered as the person who was stomping around at Charlie Kirk Memorial. Like, haha, like, what? That's shameful. Have some respect, some decency. Did you learn nothing from your parents or your mima or your granddad or your nan? Somebody, your uncle, your auntie, neighborhood kid, your babysitter, anybody. Did you learn any sort of respect? Because if I see you at a Charlie Kirk, memorial and you are celebrating, I do not think that's a good thing. It's your right to do so, obviously, because of free speech, but I think you are in the wrong. I will politely disagree with your actions. Oh, there was the word. I was looking for the word decency, but I was really looking for tact. You lack tact. T-C-T, tact. I think a lot of our young folk are lacking tact in this current day, because it's like, you don't think, hey, forget what this person said, whether he liked black people or not, or he didn't like gay people or he did. How is it? Why couldn't you agree to just disagree? Why did you have to take this man's life? That makes zero sense to me. And matter of fact, that doesn't help your cause, whatever your cause was, to try and shut this man down. Because now all you've done is ignited conservative voices. All you've done now is ignited more laws against law-abiding citizens. Because these are how these things go. Police, security, the FBI, the CIA, NSA, they can't have civil unrest. Okay, they need us to be working, we have to keep the machine going. We're all bricks in the wall. So when there's complete anarchy, they can't have that. They don't mind if everybody is fighting against each other, because then that distracts them from whatever the hell they're doing over there. But they can't have complete anarchy. So, this, I feel like, is only going to make things worse for law-abiding citizens. I'm glad they caught the fella who shot Charlie Kirk, and I'm glad this motherfucker is going to get the death penalty. He hasn't even been on trial yet, but I promise you, the state of Utah is going to barbecue this kid. And you know what? For that behavior, you just got to go. The Christian in me says, we have to look into his soul and see if we can save something or give this man help. And the regular real world part of me is like, you know what? This motherfucker is 22 years old. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to shoot a gun. And if you point a gun at someone and you pull the trigger, you're going to kill them. You're going to hurt them. So the intent, who it was, yeah, I think Utah, you have two choices. You're either going to get the electric chair or you're going to get firing squad. So I'm hoping they give him the firing squad. That sounds entertaining, that you would just die the same way that you killed somebody else. So, damn, sad stuff. Charlie Kirk was 31 years old, wife and kids, and he was killed for speaking his truth. And that's very sad. That's very sad. And I don't want to be in a world or be around people who think it's okay that man died. Like I said, I was born in the 80s. We agreed to disagree back then, okay? It was like, fuck you, no, fuck you. You're cool, fuck you. Agree to disagree, move on. Somehow, with the invention of the internet and smartphones, it's got y'all twisted. I mean, your brains is just rotted away. What has happened? Now, I'm not saying all of y'all, but some of you have just really lost your way. You just lost the plot. You're just like, oh man, Charlie Kirk is a threat to democracy or something, or vice versa. People who are against Charlie Kirk are a threat to democracy. And it's just like, whoa. Agree to disagree. Move on. Go have a beer with each other. I'm pretty sure you'll have more things in common than you think. This whole notion that, he was a bad guy or he was a good guy, it doesn't matter. Good or bad, nobody deserves to be murdered in public for speaking their opinion about something. That's just wrong. Oh man, that London train is just killing us right now. Whew, I gotta wrap this podcast up very quickly because the train keeps coming. So something a little sillier, but kind of dangerous. A female TikToker has been arrested in Florida for impersonating a doctor or pretending to be a doctor at a spa. And this TikToker, I guess for clicks, for clout on social media, was pretending to be this doctor giving people Botox injections and tattoo removals. Oh, God. I'm just wondering, so when did y'all realize she was fake? When she brought the sandpaper out to file down your tattoo? Or if she stuck the fucking Botox, if she stuck the Botox needle right in your eye. Oh my days. Basically, this lady only got caught because a friend of hers had reported her to the authorities that she was impersonating somebody else and that she was giving Botox injections and tattoo removals. Oh, shit. Getting a tattoo removed, I've heard, is even more painful than the tattoo. So can you imagine showing up at this lady's office and she ain't even the real doctor, but she pretending to be? Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Yo, they use a laser to burn off the layer of skin with the tattoo. I bet you this bitch was like just zapping people's whole arm. Just hold still. I don't know how to turn this thing on. She's just like hitting all the buttons, turning the knob to 11. Just 3rd degree burning people. Oh my days. Wow. Sick. All for TikTok likes. Pretended to be a doctor. She could have killed somebody. It's kind of crazy. She could have killed somebody. Thank God her ass got reported. And she's going to be doing at least a minimum a year in jail, they said. A minimum of a year in jail. Maybe more for impersonating a doctor. Can we talk about all of the fights and shenanigans this weekend? There were so many fights. I didn't have enough screens. Okay, I was that upset. I said, I don't have enough screens to watch this. How did y'all decide to put all the fights on one day? This is crazy. I watched UFC in the afternoon into the evening, and then Canelo and Crawford was after that. The UFC prelims were a complete shit show. Glad I missed those. I was at the gym being a responsible Jimmy, because I've got to go to the gym because I was a Patty McFatty. So I got to see the main card, and the main card was fantastic. I mean, this guy got hit with some nasty, nasty elbows. He threw them elbows. And trying to think what else. And then, of course, So the main event, of course, was, or the main fight was Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. And for me, this fight, I was not happy about this fight. The moment I heard it was booked, I said, what the fuck, man? Canelo, you got to fight Benavidez, man. You got to fight Benavidez. But apparently this fight, Canelo said he would only do this fight if they gave him X amount of dollars. And apparently the old sheik said, here's $140 million. Pull up here. I'm like, whoa. That's crazy. And I think Crawford made 20 or 30 mil for the fight. And Canelo got $140 million. I wouldn't know what to even do or what to start or where to go if I had $140 million. That is insane. Absolutely insane. So the fights itself, I would have to say that this was such a masterclass that the two of them made the fight look boring. And so to me, that it was so boring in my mind, even though I knew it was happening, I just started cleaning my house. I couldn't take it anymore. I got severely bored, and I just said to myself, I'll be back in the 10th round when it's heating up. And I was right. I came back in the 10th or the 11th round, and they were actually throwing. So my critiques, obviously Crawford did a fantastic job. Getting into Canelo's head, he came out dressed as Desperado. He had the little guitar case. He was playing Desperado. I said, oh shit, this man coming for Canelo. The first 3 rounds, actually all of the rounds, but particularly these first 3 rounds, Crawford got up ahead of the points, and Canelo was really just looking for, unfortunately, I hate to say this, it looked very amateur-ish, where he was just looking for the big power shot. He was just throwing a lot of power shots and not really setting up his jab. I wish I could say that I expected more from Canelo, but this is how he fights. This is how he's always fought. And up until this Crawford fight, he was 63-2. So I'm like, you know what? He got a better record than me. I can't go with this guy nothing. 63-2 at the time. I'm like, hey Canelo, where's your jab at? Yo, I couldn't even begin to say something because, to me that guy is and will always be a legend. So, brother Canelo. And so pretty much these boys played patty cake the first 10 rounds, and then they woke up towards the end. But I just thought to myself, because a lot of people were upset, and I said, look, if one of these dudes with the schmata on the head comes to you and gives you a bag full of $140 million, you're going to take the money. I don't think you're going to put your heart and soul into it once you get the money. Now, if he got paid after, that'd be different. We scrapping, right? But since they got paid beforehand, it's just a little song and dance, a little exhibition, if you will. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like this might be the end for Canelo, and I'm okay with that. My man's made $140 million. He got paid to lose, essentially. All he had to do was throw a couple of power shots, dance around, and it was all taken care of. It was all done. If you're gonna cut me a check for $140 million, I will sign up to lose. Where can I go? Jesus, I don't think people understood. So once my man's got that check, it was over. He just looked very slow, no jab, and looked like he didn't even want to be there. And I don't blame him. But Brother Canelo, if he decides to continue to fight, I don't know if they do that Benavidez fight since Canelo lost. So we'll see what's going to happen. But Terrence Crawford is that damn dude. He the GOAT. He's going to be up there because what he accomplished was such a huge deal. I see people that were upset and, you know, they was playing patty cake, but they're not real boxing fans. You got to know exactly what's happening here. So it was basically just like chess, and they're just waiting for somebody to make the mistake and they could capitalize. Crawford has 7 children, so you know he could use a little payday. But Canelo, $140 million to lose? Brother, I'm taking that fight for sure. British boxer Ricky the Hitman Hatton committed suicide, and so sad. 46 years old. Dad to 3 children and 1 granddaughter. He committed suicide, and as y'all know, suicide is a very dear topic to my heart because as somebody who was once there, who was once at that door, which I feel like we have all been there at some point in time. One time or another, we just couldn't figure it out. I say to you, please reach out to somebody you know that you care about. Get help, betterhelp.com, get some sort of therapy, talk to somebody. Don't just stay there in the sadness and the depression, because it won't get better. You need somebody or someone or something to kind of knock you out of the funk so you can get back to life, you know? I'm not a doctor, but I do believe up until this incident happened, Ricky seemed like he was enjoying his life. He was hitting the bag, moving around, shadowboxing, and enjoying his time. But apparently he was in pain, and he decided to check out of the hotel early. Because 46, holy shit, that's too young, man. It's too young. You know, but it just sucks. It just really sucks, because I would have wished that Ricky would have figured it out, you know, whatever it was, whatever darkness that was. I just wish he would have figured it out. But maybe he did at the register, and I doubt it, but yeah. Let's see what else I have for you. Ooh. Oh my days. Yeah, please. Anytime the S word comes up, please reach out to somebody. Do things that you love, that you have a passion for, or start a new hobby, something to retrain your brain, that you don't have to stay in this type of darkness, that it does get better. And so my wish is for anybody who hears this, who might be at the brink of, you know, possibly suicide or is having suicidal thoughts, please just stop and remember that we are not our thoughts. Ugh. I don't want to end the show on a sad note. That's why I saved the best for last. Just with everything going on, and a lot of people are upset, sadness, killing, 54 different isolated shootings in Chicago this past weekend. They had to send in the National Guard. A lot of people are in distress. Upset, sad, depressione, suicidal, murderers, harmful things going on. And I thought, what better way to go grab some food with my friends, and I went to Mandy Express. and I had some Yemeni food. And I said to myself, yo, this is pretty dope. Tasted good. It's in Riverside. I think it's on University Street. Don't count me on that, but you can look up Mandy Express. Anyhow, the reason why I bring this up is because I never thought that I would be partaking in any sort of Yemeni customs, because that part of the world does not seem very safe for a lady like me. They do not like lesbians. No lesbians, and definitely no Africa dark. You know, they got they dark, but I don't think they like Africa dark like me. But anywho, I said, let's, reconnect with some friends and have some Yemeni food, and it was delicious. And inside the restaurant, they had paintings of obviously important people from Yemen in there and whatnot, what was going on over there. And I just thought, wow, this would be so cool to go there, even though that place is in complete and utter turmoil. Oh, man. I could wish that I could visit a place like that, but obviously safety is my priority, and getting home to my puppies, my dogs, is so important to me. So I don't want to travel to a place for vacation and end up kidnapped and beheaded or stoned or pushed off a building, you understand? But the food is fantastic. Mandy Express in Riverside. But yeah, it's like, wow, Yemeni food, huh? And I was like looking at the wall, and it's got a little Arabic written on the wall. And I was like, man, I hope this, I hope this is positive writing on the wall. I was just like, man, they was cool. They recommended me the kebab, and it was tasty. So I was like, man, Yemeni food. So now I feel like I've had the taste of Yemen without having to put my life in danger. Oh, man. Then the following day, I went to a friend of mine. Shout out to Brother Lenny. My coworker, he teaches a ceramics class. And so I thought, man, because he made me a little mug that I use and I love. And I thought, wow, it'd be cool if I could make something like this, I'm trying to make something like a little holder for my drumsticks, right? And so he's like, come on down. But I'm just warning you, it's not as easy as it looks. And I'm like, all right. Holy shit. Holy smokes, it is not easy at all. But your girl on her second try made a bowl. And then on my sixth try, I made a little mini sauce plate. So I was hypnotized. I was like, yo, this is cool. Because it's a challenge. It's, if you've ever seen the movie Ghost, oh my Lord, when old girl's making the stuff in the little ceramics class and Patrick Swayze's behind her and they're touching and stuff, I thought that's what my homeboy is gonna do to me. I was like, yo, you trying to do some gay shit? What's going on? Oh shit. But that doesn't happen, He said if it was a one-on-one class, maybe. But since there were other people in the class, he had to just kind of teach in one place so everyone could see. And so I really learned some shit that day. I really learned that you have to be patient with the clay. You can't just, even though you might be stronger than the clay, what makes the clay go against you is that the fact that the table underneath that the clay is sitting on is spinning. And so you're shaping it as it's moving. And if you're impatient, if your speed is too fast or you're not paying attention, you will lose your clay. Basically, the shape will completely dissipate, or even if you're going too fast, the clay might fly off the spool. A whole situation of things happens. But you also have to keep in mind that if the spool is not spinning fast enough either, it will be lumpy. It will not take a very good shape. So I found the sweet spot. A couple times I tried to go as fast as my homie, not realizing he's been doing this for a very long time. And I am silly for trying to keep up with him. But I just got so impatient, because I'm just that person. I'm like, yo, This is the task. I must complete the task. I will make this bowl. You will say, shut up, everyone. I will have the best bowl at the end of the night. As I had made my bowl, and maybe this woman next to me was being polite. I'm sure she was. But she's like, you made that? And I was like, yes. Did I do something wrong? She was like, is this your first time doing this? And I say, yeah. Is something wrong? And she goes, no, you did really good. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, really? I hope so, because I feel like I did terrible. And she's like, no, that looks really good. She's like, how many tries? I was like, this is my second try. She's like, wow. She's like, you're a natural. And I said, no. I was like, my mom's the artiste. She's the one that paints on plates and does all that stuff. She's like, no, you're an artiste. You have the talent for that. And I said, me? An artiste? Gente? Artiste? Je suis artiste? So I was kind of pumped. I was like, okay, maybe I do have what it takes to kick it in ceramics class. Initially when he told me, I was like, you know what? I really just was going to come and watch, but then I wanted to get to the bottom of it. Like, how is this made, And then can I make this? And then I started to challenge myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm not leaving until I make a bowl. And then I made a bowl, and I'm like, wow, I made that. It's currently drying, so I guess I got to go through the next phase where I'm like scraping it or something to make it smooth. And then there's some kind of painting process or something. I don't know, but I'm just like, I'm pumped. I created something and I didn't think that I could do it. And I certainly surprised myself because I was like, arts and crafts ain't my thing. I'm a lesbian. But the mannish one, I just figure I'm good at building the stuff from IKEA. There's no way that I could make a mug, or there's no way that I could make a vase or a plate. There's no way I could make something that I could use. And within about an hour and change, I certainly surprised myself, and I shut the hell up. And I was like, damn, I made that. Damn, I made that too. I'm like, oh shit. And, I asked my friend who's teaching the class, I said, how'd I do? And he said, hey, this looks good. He's like, yeah, you did good. And I was like, don't fucking lie to me, man. Because, if it's not good, I don't want to waste my time. You know what I'm saying? If I can't improve, I don't want to be there. I don't want to participate in something and people tell me it's good and it's shit. I want people to be honest with me and say, this looks good, but this is what you can improve on. I'm all for accepting criticism. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, no, this is good. And I was like, fuck yeah. I really surprised myself that day. I was like, wow. I didn't think I had it in me to learn something new, but as long as I'm living, we always have the capacity to learn. It's a choice. We can choose to learn or not learn. And I thought, man, that is awesome. I chose to learn something, and then not just anything. I chose to learn how to do something very difficult. And when it didn't work out the first time, I was like, nope, we're starting over. And just knowing that I possessed the ability to work on something, take a chance, and when I failed the first time, that I didn't give up, that I tried again and I succeeded, and that pumped me up. I was like, yes, fuck yeah. I went home, I was like, damn, I made something. I created something. This is cool. And I said, I don't know if everybody was lying to me saying it was good, but I feel good. I feel good. I knew that I would not. So anyway, I highly recommend, if you're in the Ontario area, to look up, I think it's called the Clay Yard. If you're interested in ceramics, learning how to make mugs, pints, cookie containers, all kinds of stuff from clay. You're making stuff out of clay. Check it out. I'm just trying to mask the sound of the airplane flying by. All right. That's going to do it for me, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. www.rambleparadio.com. And I want you to remember this week, just a few cliff notes. 1, agree to disagree. 2, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. And 3, never say never. I really doubted myself in that ceramics class. I thought, there's no way that I'll be able to make this. I thought I was going to need my friend to really guide me through. I'm like, brother, you need to. And the way he was showing, I was like, I don't. And then I said, you know what? Just relax. Enjoy the energy. And get creative. And let's see what happens. So I was determined. To make something out of that class, and I did. And I think even if I would have failed every time, if my clay didn't hold, if I didn't have enough water, if it was dry and it fell apart, or if it was too wet and it flew off the machine, it was the fact that I showed up and I tried. And that blessed me with a whole nother perspective on what we can do when we set our minds to something. So that really touched me. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for me. I will talk to y'all next week. Oh, fucking hell. YouTube Genty TV. Oh, shitballs. That's gonna do it for me, folks. I hope that you have a safe and happy and wonderful week. And I will talk to y'all next week. YouTube Genty TV. www.rambleparadio.com for all your merch inquiries. If you want to buy something that supports yours truly, helps the pod. All right. I will talk to y'all next week. But until next time, this is Ramble Radio. I'm out. Peace.